Have you ever looked at the world around you and wondered, why? Why is there pain? Why is there hate? Why do good people suffer, and why does evil seem so strong? We talk about right and wrong, light and darkness, but where did this ancient struggle truly begin? Was it always here, woven into the fabric of creation? Or did something, or someone, usher it into existence? Today, we journey to the very dawn of time, beyond the stars and into the heart of a perfect, pristine heaven, to uncover the astonishing origin of evil and reveal the true identity of the one we call Satan. Prepare to witness a story of breathtaking beauty, catastrophic pride, and a fall that forever changed the destiny of all creation. Before the mountains rose, before the oceans roared, before even the first human breath, there was only God, perfect and whole, dwelling in unapproachable light. And from the very essence of his creative love, he brought forth beings of incredible splendor, the angels. Among them, one shone brightest of all. His name was Lucifer, meaning light bringer or morning star. Lucifer was a masterpiece. Crafted with unparalleled wisdom and beauty, he was clothed in glory, adorned with every precious stone imaginable. His very presence was a song, a symphony of praise to his creator. He was given a place of extraordinary honor, a guardian cherub, walking among the fiery stones of God's holy mountain. His voice led the heavenly choir, his wisdom guided countless celestial beings, and his presence reflected the very glory of God to the universe. He was perfect in his ways from the day he was created, radiating truth and light. But somewhere, in the vast expanse of time before time, a subtle shift began. Within the heart of this magnificent being, a seed, tiny and insidious, began to sprout. It was not planted by God, but nurtured by Lucifer himself. He gazed upon his own brilliance, not as a reflection of his maker, but as an inherent quality. He admired his wisdom, not as a gift, but as his own achievement. A dangerous thought whispered through his being. Am I not worthy of this glory? Am I not, perhaps, even more than just a reflection? Pride, that most ancient and destructive of sins, began to fester. It twisted his perfect wisdom into cunning, his radiant beauty into self-obsession. He, the light bringer, began to covet the very light he was meant to reflect. He no longer desired to simply serve God, but to be like God. He looked at the divine throne, not with reverence, but with ambition. The whispers began, softly at first, then growing bolder. Lucifer, using his formidable wisdom and charisma, started sowing seeds of discontent among the other angels. He questioned God's authority, his plans, his very right to absolute dominion. He painted a picture of a more just heaven, where power was shared, where angels could ascend to greater heights, perhaps even to the very throne of creation. Why should we bow? He might have insinuated. Are we not also glorious? Are we not also wise? Is it not time for a new order, a different reign? And tragically, incredibly, a third of the angelic host, swayed by his charm and deceived by his lies, chose to believe him. They turned their backs on the Creator. Once a realm of perfect harmony was now divided. The air crackled with unspoken conflict, a spiritual war brewing within the very heart of perfection. Lucifer, the cherished son of dawn, stood poised for the ultimate act of betrayal, ready to challenge the God who had created him in love and sought to place himself above the Almighty. The stage was set for a cosmic confrontation, a battle not of flesh and blood, but of wills, of truth against the ultimate lie. Then, the unthinkable happened. The rebellion erupted into open warfare. Lucifer, now consumed by his boundless pride, launched his audacious assault on the very throne of God. But heaven would not fall. The righteous angels, led by the archangel Michael, stood firm, utterly loyal to their creator. A roar, unlike any sound heard before or since, echoed through the celestial courts. "Who is like God?" Michael's voice thundered, a battle cry against the ultimate blasphemy. Light met corrupted light. Purity met ambition, and humility faced down ultimate pride. It was a cosmic clash between good and evil, played out in the spiritual realm. The battle was fierce but short, for though Lucifer and his host were powerful, they were utterly outmatched by the power of God, wielded through his loyal angels. Michael, with the divine authority of the Almighty, struck the decisive blow. Lucifer, once the glorious morning star, now irrevocably stained by rebellion, could not stand against the true light. He was cast out. Down from the pinnacle of heaven, down through the cosmic expanse, fell Lucifer and his rebellious legions. The light that once shone so brilliantly within him was extinguished, replaced by an eternal darkness. His name, Lucifer, the Lightbringer, was lost forever, replaced by a new, terrible identity. Satan, the adversary, the devil, the accuser, he who coveted God's throne, was now forever separated from his presence, banished to a realm of darkness. And so, evil entered the universe, not as God's creation, but as the perversion of his most beautiful one. The story of Lucifer's fall is a stark and powerful reminder. It tells us that evil is not an eternal force equal to God. It is a corruption, a distortion of something good that chose rebellion. It reminds us that pride, even in the most magnificent of beings, can lead to utter destruction. Now that we understand the fall of Lucifer, there is something we must uncover, something deeper, something most people never hear in church, never read in passing, and never talk about, because it shakes the very foundation of how we see evil. Before we continue, I need you to listen closely and watch this video to the very end. Do not skip a second. Every part of what you're about to hear is connected. Everyone thinks Lucifer fell because he became proud. But the Bible reveals something darker. In Ezekiel 28:16, God says, "Through the abundance of your trading, you sinned." Trading here means spreading influence, whispering, plotting, persuading. Lucifer built a quiet movement inside heaven. He twisted loyalty behind closed doors. He orchestrated a spiritual coup long before a single battle was fought. He wanted worship, not just power. Lucifer didn't only want authority, he wanted adoration. I will sit on the mount of the congregation. This mount is the place where worship rises to God. Lucifer didn't just crave God's throne. He craved God's worship. He wanted every being in heaven to lift their voices to him. Most people never realize this. Long after the fall, Satan still stood before God, accusing believers. He questions motives. He challenges faith. He tries to convince heaven that no one truly loves God. He tempts you, then accuses you for the temptation he brought. Lucifer knows how his story ends. Revelation 20:10. For all his rage, for all his lies, Lucifer is driven by one thing: fear. Because God has already revealed his ending. Revelation 20:10 says, "The devil will be thrown into the lake of fire and tormented forever and ever. His kingdom ends in flame. His rebellion ends in judgment. His power ends in ashes." Every attack he launches today is fueled by desperation because he knows his time is almost over. What do you cry for? What makes you feel unworthy? The cross already silenced your defeat. God has conquered the enemy, and victory has your name on it. So lift your head and remember who you belong to.
If this story spoke to you, drop a comment and click subscribe. See you in the next video.